أبو بصير لقد وفى لي صاحبك. That your master fulfilled his promise. I can see now the paradise. I can see the Malaikatul Salihun. I can see Ahlul Bayt. That's it. I gained what I need in such a crucial time, in the death time. And then he died and he went, they took him to the burial and they buried him. Abu Basir said, I went to Medina 1 year after, and I went to visit Imam al-Sadiq salamullahi alayhi. He said, I went to the house of the Imam, I put one foot inside the house and one outside, just trying to go inside the house. The Imam called from the back room that لَقَدْ وَفَيْنَا لِصَاحِبُكَ. I also fulfilled the promise that I made to your friend, to your neighbor. Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim are the Ahlul Bayt of mercy, of compassion, of rahmah. They want the islah, the reform, the restoration for the Muslim nation. Imagine somebody who worked for the oppressor. Allah knows how much he supported the Bani Umayyah, how much dhulm possibly, if yes or no, he made. But the tawbah came and he now in paradise. Likewise, Hur ibn Yazid al-Riyahi, on the day of Ashura he repented. Although he banned the Imam from moving towards Kufa. But the rahmah and the mercy of the Ahlul Bayt salam is immense, is countless. Because they gained this rahmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. Allah sent the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt as a mercy to the world, as a mercy even to the non-Muslims, to guide them towards the right path. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Imam al-Hussein salamullah alayh, in his will to Muhammad bin Hanafiyyah before departing the Medina, he wrote this, that I have not come out, I'm not uprising for the cause of pride or arrogance, or to cause corruption or oppression, but I came out to establish reform, to change this corrupted society, this deviated society, due to the bad deeds and the policy and the politics of the so-called khulafa in the name of Islam. According to narration, that after the incident and the event of Ashura, only 3 people remained after the Imam's martyrdom to believe in that Imam al-Hussein was killed as madloom, as oppressed. And the rest of the people believed that he actually came out against the Caliph. He made a mistake, na'udhu billah. Only 3 people who believed that he was actually, what he did was right, and he was killed as Muslim. But gradually people came back, by the efforts of Imam al-Sajjad salamullah alayhi and Ahlul Bayt, that explained to people that this uprising was for the cause of reform and guiding the people to the right path, and to stop the tyrant from continuing his oppression and deviation against the religion of Allah and people. So, when we look at the history of the Umayyad Empire, to see an example of how they were oppressive people against the Muslims, the so-called Muslim Caliph oppresses the Muslims, and how it is linked to today's events in the Middle East. the root of these incidents today in the Middle East and the rise of ISIS and so forth goes back to this historic event. And you will discover that those groups today who are fighting and destroying the green and killing people and everything and taking their wealth and looting their properties, it goes back to that history. It goes back to this person who established this bid'ah and deviation. Let's read the history and see what the Umayyad rule did. Sufyan ibn Auf al-Ghamidi, he was one of the commanders of Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. Muawiyah sent him to raid Iraq. Muawiyah was in Damascus, in Sham. He sent him to raid Iraq. So he called him to give him this duty to go and raid a specific place in Iraq. He said, دعاني معاوية فقال. Sufyan al-Ghamidi, he says, he narrates this historic event. فقال, Muawiyah says, إني باعثك بجيش كثيف. Muawiyah says, I'm going to send you with a huge mass of army. فامض حتى تغير على الأنبار. So go and raid with your huge army the province of Anbar in the west of Iraq today. The majority are non-Shia, of course. And many of our troubles and the nest of the and the den of the terrorism actually was there from there. فمضي حتى تغير على الأنبار, to raid Anbar. Then he said, Muawiyah says, إن هذه الغارات يا سفيان على أهل العراق ترعب قلوبهم. Exactly the same doctrine and ideology of ISIS. He says to Sufyan al-Ghamidi, his commander, that these raids, O Sufyan, on the people of Iraq terrorizes them, makes their hearts fearful, scares them. He is the so-called the Muslim caliph, and they are your citizens. How come you send an army to kill and terrorize people? But that's his doctrine. Then he says, he orders him, number one, فَاقْتُلْ كُلَّ مَنْ لَقِيتَهُ مِمَّنْ هُوَ لَيْسَ عَلَى مِثْلِ رَأْيِكَ. On your way to Anbar, whoever you meet, you find, who is not with your ideology, the ISIS ideology, then kill him. Subhanallah. And that's what they did today in Mosul and other parts of Iraq and Sham and Syria. That they killed even the non-Shia. They killed a lot of Sunnis. They killed the Yazidis and others. Because they follow Muawiyah. Their Imam. They tyrant Imam, of course. Then he said, وَأَخْرِبْ كُلَّ مَا مَرَرْتَ بِهِ مِنَ الْقُرَى. Then destroy, when you actually pass through the villages, destroy these villages. Whatever you see, just destroy it. Exactly the same doctrine of ISIS. They destroyed even museums and historic places. وأخرب كل ما مررت به من القرى. Then he says وأحرب الأموال فإن حرب الأموال شبيه بالقتل وهو أوجع للقلب. He says take and loot their wealth, their money, because the looting their money is worse than killing them, because that's his capital, his belongings. If you take it, then he can't live anymore. Has to beg people. He worked for 20, 30 years to gather this wealth. Now you hold the wealth for him, then he has to go and beg people. as they say in Arabic, قطع الأعناق ولا قطع الأرزاق. To cut someone's neck is better than cutting somebody's income. وهو أوجع للقلب. It's really painful on the heart when you take their belongings and wealth and money. This is the doctrine of Muawiyah, and his offspring today in Sham and Iraq are exactly following his legacy and his method in trying to take over the areas and to make so-called the Islamic Khilafah, which is totally rejected and refused even by themselves, the non-Shia. This type of Khilafah means destruction to the Islamic society. If they bring back the Khilafah, believe me brothers, they will bring Yazid again. Yazid will come back again in a different way. Imam al-Hussein Salamullah alayhi, he wanted to stop this movement of Yazidis to the whole history, to the Day of Judgment, with his sacrifice, with his blood given for the cause of Allah, to protect this religion, because all of the religions deviated, taken from Judaism, Christianity, all the religions. It's only this religion which is represented by Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Because the problem is that having an enemy internally is more dangerous than having an enemy externally. Sometimes you have an enemy from the outside of the borders. You try to defend the border from the attack of the enemies. But when you have it within your community, your society, that's going to be really dangerous. And that's what they fear, that you might have, sleeping cells, they call them, within the European countries, that they might actually one day become terrorists and bomb and cause more destruction to the capitals of the Europe. Because the enemy within the society will have a devastating consequences rather than the external enemy. Because you don't know your enemy. If it's within your community, you don't know. At any time, this enemy might become apparent and destroy. And as the ayah says with regard to such tyrants who rule over the life and the livelihood of people, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, إِنَّ الْمُلُوكَ إِذَا دَخَلُوا قَرْيَةً أَفْسَدُوهَا. If the kings, the rulers, the oppressive rulers, if they take over the leadership and kingdom of a city, of a country, they will cause corruption. وَجَعَلُوا أَعِزَّةَ أَهْلَهَا أَذِلَّةً. And they make those people humiliated. وَكَذَلِكَ يَفْعَلُونَ. And they will do it. That's the way the oppressors, they think that they can actually, with shedding the blood, the sacred blood of the believers, they can actually strengthen their throne and the leadership. We all saw for the past history how the tyrants were eventually killed. Yes, he goes to his palace and he leads and he rules and oppresses people for 20, 30 years. And then they drag him from the hall and then they hang him. That's the fate of the tyrant and the oppressive people. Therefore, Islah in the dictionary of the Arabic, يقابل الفساد, means the vice versa is fasad, is corruption. Reform, vice versa, the versa is corruption. Wherever you have Islah, you have reform. On the other side, you have the fasad and corruption. It was the duty of the prophets and the vicegerents of the prophets to bring back people to the right path. That was a duty. But see, Ahlul Bayt, how, with their compassion, with their mercy, attracted people. They brought out people from the deep levels of hellfire to the high levels of paradise. Examples of Ashura. Other examples. In Saffin, for example, with Amir al-Mu'minin sallallahu alayhi, and the battle with Muawiyah, how people came and joined the Imam sallallahu alayhi when they saw the Imam, the Nur al-Imam sallallahu alayhi. The story of a Syrian man. He comes from Sham to Medina. He comes and he sees the Imam al-Hussein salamullah alayhi. He says to him, Anta ibn Abu Turab, because in Damascus, in Sham, they thought that the Abu Turab, which is the title of Imam Ali alayhi salam, one of his titles, Abu Turab, was like a insult to the Imam, which wasn't at all. It wasn't an insult. So he said to him, Anta ibn Abu Turab? Imam salamullah alayhi said, yes. Then he started to insult the Imam with bad words. Insult the Imam. Imam was kept quiet, calm, and he didn't respond. When the man finished, because he was a jahil, he was an ignorant man, he was a brainwashed man with the Amawi media that Ahlul Bayt are against the Muslims, against Islam. They are na'udhu billah, such and such. They used to curse Amir al-Mu'minin salamullah alayhi on the pulpits of Damascus. So the Imam looked at the man with the eyes of mercy, rahmah, passion. Then he said to him, salamullah alayhi, that if you need money, we can support you. If you need shelter, we can offer you. The Imam offered the services that you can join us, ahlan wa sahlan. Although he insulted the Imam salamullah alayhi, and he was from Ahlul Bayt al-Rahmah, Ahlul Bayt of purification. But the response was calm, peaceful, and adoring. The man said that I felt so regret, ashamed. I didn't know what to do. So the man apologized to the Imam. He actually went to the Imam and he kissed the hands and the feet of the Imam salamullah alayhi, and he went back to Sham. This is how the Amawi tried to spread between their followers, the Ahlul Bayt were, na'udhu billah, such people, na'udhu billah. So it is the responsibility of us today, likewise, to spread the message of Ahlul Bayt. يتعلمون علومنا ويعلمها الناس. To learn their hadith, their sayings, and then teach it to the others. Tell others who are Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhi, what they did. Because the message hasn't been reached to the world yet. Yes, we have, mashallah, satellite channels with different languages and countries, but still you have 7 billion human beings living on this earth. If let's say 1 billion, he knows about Ahlul Bayt. This means that there are 6 million people are unaware and they are ignorant about Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhi, and they need guidance.